up your YouTube, search for Stukeley Meadows, watch on your big screen.
Or another device if you're at home.
Get yourself comfy, this could take a while. What a happy scene. Something new every day for your long-term memory. This is so exciting, it is nearly time for a Stukeley assembly.
Good morning everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, good night, whenever you're watching this. Now, it is a Mrs. Stevens expert assembly. I'm going to hand over to her in a moment. But before I do that, I hope you all had a great half-term break. Some of you will have had lots of happy moments. Some of you might have had some sad moments. If you need to talk about anything, find a friend, find a member of staff, find somebody and talk to them today, please. That's really important. Also, before we crack on with the Mrs. Stevens special, I'm going to squeeze in our creative challenge from last week. It was a Jubilee special. I'm going to put it on now so you can enjoy it while we're still in that kind of Jubilee fever. Incredible. Here it is. Thanks to Mrs. Page for putting it together.
Hi there everyone and welcome to today's curriculum assembly. In fact, it's the first day back after the May bank holiday. I think we still call it the May bank holiday, or the Jubilee bank holiday as it's been known this time round. Anyway, enough of all that. Let's get started in all the usual ways. For each other we, every day we, to improve we, and together we will. and our everyday focuses are. And our Stukeley motto is, and our Stukeley curriculum is, and those 4 words. Excellent. So here we are, fresh back, first day, having had a lovely week or so's holiday. I hope everyone had a good time. Now, I have been watching quite a little bit of telly, I suppose, after the last few days, and I'm sure you have done too, really looking at the coverage all about the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. And that got me thinking, because although I do have an expert today, yes I do everyone, just in case you thought I didn't, although we do have an expert today, our experts really link in with our curriculum. And part of our curriculum is thinking about something that we call British values, about citizenship, about belonging and being part of the country in which we live. And so that kind of takes me back to all that I was just saying about the Jubilee, makes me think about the fact that these Jubilee celebrations and things that I've watched and seen on television around that have really been connected to this whole idea of Britishness, or being British and part of the United Kingdom. And that is part of our curriculum too. And it's kind of a part that I suppose we don't necessarily really think about. We think about our English and our maths, we may think about our French and our science, but we don't necessarily think about the part of our curriculum which is to do with our values. We usually put that under the umbrella title of PSHE, and you may be more familiar with that. But part of that is an aspect that we look at is citizenship. So it's made me think. We've just had a big kind of 4-day extravaganza to celebrate and to commemorate. That's a really good word, isn't it? It's where you kind of mark something, to commemorate the Jubilee, the 70th, the Platinum Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II. So I'm just wondering, what did you all do? Did you do anything? Did you watch on TV like me? Did you get involved in parties? I don't know. So I'm going to give 2 minutes for teachers and for children to have a really quick chat together as a class and share what you did, or maybe didn't do, to commemorate the Jubilee. Over to you. Okay then, so back in the room, hopefully you've shared a few stories about things that you may have seen or things that you may have done as part of those Jubilee celebrations. And I suppose having a monarch, because that's what we would call a king or a queen, it doesn't matter whether you're male or female, so a monarch is a king or a queen. Being part of a country that does have a monarch, then Jubilees that we've just enjoyed are kind of all part of that. I am so old that I remember something called the Silver Jubilee, which marked 25 years of the Queen on the throne. And I can remember that really, really clearly. But those Jubilees are part of what it is to be British. And that kind of made me think as well then, well, what else then is part of being British? I wonder what makes you think of. What do you consider being British? Now that's something you can stop and have a chat about, and probably a good idea too, but not for too long though. And then we'll see what you come up with. So what did you decide? What it means to be British? Well, I have no idea what you may have come up with, because there are so many different people and you may have lots of different ideas. But I was kind of thinking about things that are kind of Britain is famous for. Certainly the Queen fits the bill there, doesn't it? Having a royal family, having a monarchy is something that Britain is well known for. Britain's also quite well known for dodgy weather, and certainly Sunday, which is when I'm filming this assembly, the weather's a little bit grey outside, so we are known for that kind of rainy weather. I wonder what else you think we're known for. I think we are known also for some of our kind of cultures and things that we do, part of the British culture, things that we do about being British, but also places. So when we think about Windsor Castle and Buckingham Palace, back to the Queens and Kings and Queens here, that's something that people associate with Britain and with being British. I wonder about some of our sports achievements. I was thinking about somebody like Mo Salah, you know, the runner that won gold medals. Maybe we're known for football, because, England have done pretty well over the years. Maybe we're known for tennis. And don't forget, Andy Murray won the tennis at Wimbledon 2 times, and Emma Raducanu more recently winning at the American Tennis Open. So we're known for those kind of things as well. Hopefully, when you were talking about being British, you thought about that. It also made me think not only of the weather, it made me think about the monarchy, because that's a big part of being British. We talked about famous places, those palaces, the castles, all of those things are part of what it means to be British. So that comes under our PSHE curriculum. And we don't often think so much about that, because we kind of weave lots of those things through everything else that we do. In fact, our school values and our rules and things that we have at school very much reflect what it is to be British, and the culture around our school is very much associated with the country where our school is. So all of those things are tied in together, which is probably why we don't necessarily think about it as a curriculum area, but it absolutely is, and it plays a really important part. So I wonder, what is our curriculum expert going to be talking about today? Well, I have a sneaky suspicion it's going to be something technical. So everyone, sit back, listen carefully, take note, mentally that is, and I'll see you on the other side.
Hello, my name is Gary Cutts. I live in a village called Repton in the south of Derbyshire, sometimes with my 2 sons who are in their 2nd and 4th years at university, and always with my pet rabbit who lives in the garden and eats pretty much everything I try to plant there as well. So I'm a long way from your school in Cambridgeshire. I reckon if I jumped in my car, it would probably take me around 3 hours to drive there. If I wanted to do something a bit more sustainable and green, I could probably take a train with a taxi at either end. I think that would take me about 4 hours to get there. Believe it or not, the things that we're working on and that I work on are aiming to develop green electric aircraft that would let me fly from my home to your school perhaps in about 1 hour and 20 minutes, burning no carbon at all. At school, I was always fascinated by the world around me, especially how things work and why things are the way that they are. I've always had a real desire to keep doing and learning new things. So seeing things I've never seen before, that really interests me. I was very, very much into science and maths from an early age, and I went on to study maths at university. I was brought up by my parents very much to try my best at everything, and it never really mattered quite how much we succeeded, provided that we tried our best in doing that. And so for me, if things are worth doing, they're worth trying to do the very best you can, and I'm very driven by trying to kind of make changes. My area of expertise is really aviation, a wider group of aviation technologies, I guess. I grew up really with Rolls-Royce, learning all about jet engines, and I've worked there for 20 plus years, so I know an awful lot about jet engines, every aspect of them, from the design, the way the components work, how they're manufactured, how they operate in service, and how to manage aircraft engines in service, how to look after the safety and reliability and keep aircraft operating safely up in the skies. I also worked quite a lot in the area of services and services development, doing things like maintenance of aircraft engines. But for me, the last 5 years have been the most exciting, that I've developed to be much broader than that now, and I lead a program of aviation innovation and technology that goes way beyond jet engines. So we're looking at developing new aircraft, new electric and green aircraft, but more than that, we're looking to develop the system that goes around them. How do airports need to develop to allow new types of aircraft to land? How do we charge electric aircraft? What are the digital systems, the IT and the telecommunications that are required to allow new classes of aircraft to come into being? So what I'd like to do is just show a couple of images to try and illustrate what I do day to day. So bear with me a moment. So just really 3 images to show the kinds of things that we do. So firstly, this is an image of a large drone. So that's an aircraft that has no people on board. This one carries about 100 kilograms of payload. And we've supported this flying in the Isles of Scilly and in Scotland, moving post and mail between remote islands. You can see the aircraft there, pretty much the size of a large truck. No one's on board there, and we fly that remotely. The next thing to show you is perhaps one of the wildest. This is called an urban airport, and we are supporting the build of this really small airport right in the middle of a city. It's in the middle of Coventry, in the middle of England. It's shown here right next to the football stadium. It's actually moved from there now, and it is being constructed right next to the railway station. So this is a kind of a wild new style of airport that we can put up in about 2 weeks, and you can land aircraft carrying goods, or you can land electric aircraft that carry people. So yeah, a pop-up airport, that's one of the things that we are supporting. And the very last image, this is an aircraft from Vertical Aerospace. So this is one that does carry people. It'll carry something like 4 or 5 people. It can take off vertically like a helicopter, straight up, then move to forward flight and go at quite a high speed, taking people between cities. And the whole vehicle is electrically powered using batteries, so it generates no carbon dioxide. This is the kind of vehicle I was talking about that would let us go from a place where I live to the place where you live in probably a third of the time that we could do by cars, and in a much greener way as well. So the job that I have helping these technologies come to people is really, really exciting. It's a fantastic job, the best job that I've had. What do I enjoy most about my role? Well, there is just so much to say. I've been doing this for 3 years, and it's just a thrilling job. For me, I really love learning about new things every day and trying to change the world in a really useful way as well. I work with hundreds of companies, some of the smartest people in the UK, and every day we get to travel around, meet them, share ideas, and work out what we can do to make the UK a better place to live and travel. The technology is amazing. I've covered some of this, but it runs from electric air taxis, medical deliveries by drones, providing remote maintenance with swarms of drones flying around the towers of wind turbines, perhaps 100 miles away from where the pilot is. All of that technology and how we put it together, that means this job is fascinating for me. What's the biggest challenge of my role? I would say it's a little bit the thing I talked about before as a positive. The sheer amount of people that we need to talk to in these kind of roles, these innovation roles, is just amazing. So we have to keep a list of that, and we have to regularly be talking to 100 to 200 people to try and get things done. So the amount of stuff that I need to know something about, how to charge batteries, how air traffic management systems work, how does government work, how does government set direction and policy, how do people travel in the UK, where do people travel, what's the pricing we should put in place for travel, what about cybersecurity and regulations. So to know so much about all of those things, as I said before, that really excites me. It's fantastic to know about them, but boy, is it a real challenge to try and know something about all of those topics and to keep regularly meeting those hundreds of people who are the real specialists in those topics. The key to all of that for me is absolutely to have a brilliant team of people. I'm really lucky that I have a really smart team of people who work with me in Innovate UK, and all of engineering and innovation, aviation or otherwise, it's really always a team sport. There's nothing that I could do on my own. I do what I do by working with some really brilliant, clever technical people every day. If anybody wants to become an expert, a leader in innovation or any other field, do you know there's only ever really one piece of advice I've tended to give? I gave this advice to my 2 sons, and I give it to anybody else who's thinking about careers. You've absolutely got to do the things you love in your life. Don't let your jobs be dictated by what other people tell you should do or what you think you ought to do. You should do what you love. And that's true of school, hobbies, and jobs. If you absolutely love something, you will, put your heart and soul into that. You'll put more effort in. You will keep developing yourself. You'll keep learning. But more importantly, every day you'll wake up, you can't wait to get into work. You'll have a blast because you're working on things you love. And working on things you love, you'll probably progress, you'll probably get more responsibility. If you don't, you'll still love what you're doing. So whatever your passion is, that's the place to go find your future job. And the only other thing I would say is, if you can, I would advise people to try and choose something that matters as well. It feels really great at the end of the day to be working on things that you love, and then to be working on things that really make a difference to people and make a difference in the world.
Well, here we are back again. Big thank you to Gary for that expert video from him. Lots of technology information in there too, wasn't there? I was really fascinated by that air taxi that he was talking about. You know, the one that could kind of take off and land much like a helicopter does, but could also move in a horizontal fashion. So as well as going up and down, the vertical bit could also move in a horizontal fashion. And just that whole idea of developing airports and things in really different ways. The exciting things, I think, when I watch some of those videos, particularly from some of the technical experts that we've had on, has just been how creative technology can be. It's not just about being really good at science, is it? Or being really good at maths. Those subjects are really important, obviously, if you want to go into that kind of area when you're grown up. But it's really interesting that it's got that creative part to it. Gary talked about the fact that one of the things he really liked about his job is getting to meet lots of new people, as well as travelling to new places in order to meet those people, and being in a room with lots and lots of clever, creative people talking about ideas, about making the world somewhere better to be and making travel an easier and a better process. So I found that really interesting. And then when he was talking about how you could become an expert, or how you choose what kind of area of expertise you might want to go into, he then mentioned there, didn't he, about making sure it's something you really cared about. So not just something you're good at, although that might be really important, but that it's something that you actually cared about, that you thought actually mattered. So that was something really important to him, wasn't it? About making a difference and about making the world, even your little bit of the world where you live, a better place. And that was a big incentive for him when he kind of chose his area of expertise. So aviation is a really big field, isn't it? So if you're interested in aeroplanes, if you're interested in air travel and where that might go in the future, then maybe that would be something for you to look into. So thanks again to Gary for that, a real insight into yet another area of work and employment and careers for the future. I know some of you are really small yet, and that is such a long way off, but it is interesting, isn't it, to think about how all the learning we do at school actually will help build whatever future you would like to have when you are grown up, however far away that might seem. So thank you again. Here we go into another week. I wonder what this week will bring. Well, I always end my assemblies by saying those 4 words: work hard, be kind. But it's really important, everyone. It's always going to be important. Have a great week. Do work hard and be kind. And I'll see you next time.
Thanks again, Mrs. Stevens, and our expert for that. Right, just before we finish, birthdays.
Hey, 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 it's time to say we've got a Stukeley birthday. Hey, 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 it's time to say we've got a Stukeley birthday. Oh, come on!
Happy birthday, Luke J.K. in year 5. Big one today, Luke. It's your penultimate birthday at Stukeley Meadows. Very exciting. Have a good one. Enjoy. I'm sure you did that over half term. Do the same again today. First day back in school and it's your birthday. I'm not sure if that's lucky or not. Anyway, let's finish with EDK.
And we are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for you. And we are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for you.
And we're back. EDK. Hope you all had a good break. Now we're back on our favourite daily knowledge challenge. Let's kick off with some countries. Let's do this. Oh, here's Europe. Whoa! We've added some more numbers on here. I've chucked a few more on. Let's see if you know where we're going with this. And let's see how we get on. Okay, first of all, country number 1. Scotland, country number 2. Wales, country number 3. Northern Ireland, country number 4. England, country number 5. Republic of Ireland, country number 6. France, country number 7. Spain, country number 8. Italy, country number 9. Netherlands, country number 10. Germany, country number 11. Iceland, country number 12. Portugal, now, anybody know country number 13? Well done those of you that said Belgium, country number 14. Finland, well done if you got Finland, country number 15. Poland, and finally country number 16. Denmark, well done if you got that one. Right, let's go straight on to some flags. Flags, flags, flags. Let's see. I did get a couple of extras. Where have they gone? Oh, got some extras. Let's see how we get on. Make sure the right way up. Right, everyone. Here we go. Republic of Ireland. Wales. France. England. Spain. Scotland. Portugal. Italy. Germany. New one. Belgium. Finland. Denmark. Good work, everyone. Really good work. Hang on a sec. Let's go scientific. Let's get out the solar system. Here it is, everyone. We've got the sun there. This is the right way, I think. Right, let's try and get the shine off. Oh, it's not great, is it? You can see all the boxes. Can you see all the boxes on my shelf? Yeah. One day I will give you a bit of a tour of the garage. You only see this bit, and you'll notice I've taken the board away. One of my daughters wrote a rather rude message on it, and I've had to move it because I can't find the rubber and there's too much to do with my hand. That's why I've moved the board. That's a true story, by the way. Yeah, she knows who she is. Anyway, here's the solar system. I think that's, it's not too bad, is it? So let's go first of all, we've got the sun here. Okay, what about the furthest planet away? Neptune. What about just next to it here? Uranus. What about the closest planet to the sun? Mercury. What about this planet just here? It's the Earth, correct. I'm sorry about that. I mean, I'm so sorry. Anyway, hang on a sec. Let's stick with the science and do some elements from the periodic table. Let's do that and then we'll finish off because I don't want to go on for too long. Let's see how fast we can do these. I'm getting excited about this. Go. Sodium. Iron. Oxygen. neon, titanium, silicon, fluorine, carbon, helium, phosphorus, aluminium. Let's leave it there because time is ticking. See you next time on EDK.